and a back stroke. And now let's set that posture. Feet facing forward, hip distance apart, knees soft, bottom under, shoulders back. Lift your chest. Hold that in. The way you hold your muscles when you exercise is the way that they form. And so letting it all bless out, that's how it's going to look. But if you hold it in, hopefully at some point in our lifetime we'll get a six-pack. So we're from there, that's me normally, to here. Just got to make sure no ribs are sticking out. Tuck that right under. Breathe in. Breathe out as you squeeze your head with your arms. Now, naturally, because you're squeezing your head with your arms, you're taking it all the way up there, but bring the shoulders away from the ears. Breathe in and bring the hands down to the side, lifting your chest as you do. Keep tucking the bottom under. The lower the arms get, the more the bottom's tucked. And the more you do that, the more you'll actually feel your crested going right there. Now, let's rotate your head no further than your shoulder. Bring it back to the other side. Depending on how you are today or how you slept, as to how much snap, crackle and pop you're hearing. Bring it back. One more to the side. Back here, chin down. And let's roll the head so the ear is in line. And then take it all the way back and round. And then let's do it from the other side. When you get back to the centre, lift up. Okay, give it a bit of a shake. There. Now, there's a particular Zumba move, I've told a few of you about this before, that is absolutely fantastic at releasing the lower back as well as making you smile. And it's called dry your bum. So you're in the shower, it's just you. Stand a little bit wide, dry your bum with your towel. And if you actually let it go and don't withhold yourself, you will find that here actually does stretch out. What I don't want you to do is this, because that's not helping your back. Let it go like nobody's watching and you'll really feel here just ease out. It's really good. So let's go back to this posture now. Feet are hip distance apart, so bend your knees and put your fist in between your toes and your heels. So your feet are facing forward and they're not like that. I need you to look down because people will stare me dead in the eye and say my feet are straight and I'll go, please, just humour me, look down. And then they'll go, oh, right, oh, okay. Now press through your big toes. Keep having to peel my feet off there. Press through the big toes and imagine that the arch in your foot is suckered into the floor. Next thing, your knees. If your knees are locked, because everybody's always telling you, or your mum always told you, stand up straight. This is a locked knee. Bum comes out, belly does some strange things. Soften your knees, tuck your bottom under, roll the shoulders back and lift your chest. That's your correct posture. That's just a duck bum and a spine ending up like that with just a lot of pressure on the lower back, which is what we tend to get, especially females. Lengthen your neck, but keep your chest level. So we've got everything going on now. The shoulders are back and down, the chest is lifted. You're feeling very proud of yourself, and so you should, because your posture is beautiful. So breathe in, squeeze your head. Breathe in. Now bring it to tabletop. So the arms are coming straight out from the shoulders. So if you look at my arms, they're not doing that. They're not even doing that. They're coming straight from the shoulders. So you actually cannot see my shoulder joint because of my arm. That's what I'm wanting from you. And knees soft, but legs straight. So you can feel the work here. Press it in the belly button. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Let's go all the way down. And then let your head go. Have a bit of a rock. And a sway. Now, the sway comes from the hips, so don't do that. Your arms are probably fine. I want you to sway from your hips. You can feel the extra work. The legs are straight, but the knees are still soft. You can feel the extra work coming up the back of the leg, maybe up to the glutes. Now bend your knees. Breathe in and lift those arms up to the ceiling. Breathe out as you look up, pressing through your big toes, lengthening your body. Now look straight ahead and glide your arms all the way down. So your next fold, you're going to keep your arms next to your ears. Now it might seem quite simple, however it's not as easy as you think. Arms next to the ears and then bring it to tabletop. It is actually a very challenging move. You glue your ears to your arms. Your back is flat. Breathe in, hands just below the knees. Now pull those shoulders away from your ears. Try and get your head on the wall in front of you and your bottom on the wall behind you. Breathe in. Take it all the way down to the bottom. Put both of your hands on your left leg. And then put your left arm in the air. So you're trying to get your chest onto your knee. Look up at that arm. And now let's change sides, nice and easy, nice and slow. And bring it back. Bend your knees, breathe in and rise. Breathe out as you lean back. Bring it down. Lift your chest. And now stand wide. We're doing a bit of a lateral one today. So we're going to start with the moon salutation. We're standing wide. I want you to turn your heels in slightly. So your feet are at 10 to 2. Arms out. Level with the shoulders and push backwards. So you're trying to get your hands to clap at the back. Breathe in. Bring it to the front and to the screen. So keeping the head level, you're actually trying to extend your arms to touch the screen. And then up to one side, to the left. And to the right. Bring it back here. Hands in prayer and bend your knees slowly. So as we go down, I want you to push your knees out. So we go to Goddess. Keep the chest up, don't look down. Keep looking at the screen all the way down. Now this leg here, take it out to the side, but keep your chest to the front as you put your hands down. So keep the chest to the front as you try and lower your bottom. Your overall aim is to get your groin on the floor. That's not going to happen today, but just so you know where we're going. Now, turn this heel in, but stay just as wide, and drop your bottom down. Take it to the other side. So I'm feeling the stretch on that inside leg now. It feels quite tight. Let's turn this way. What's natural? This back leg, put your knee down. Lift your upper body as you lean into it. So we're going to do a lovely stretch, a nice twist. Put your hands down. Make sure that this shoulder is directly above the elbow and the wrist. And turn it. Look up. And bring that hand back down. Now your back leg, you're going to connect because we're coming up for a forward facing front leg fold. I probably said all those words in the wrong order. This is what we're doing. If you want to, you can put your hands on your thigh, on your shin, on the top of your foot or on the floor. If you have a yoga block, you can put it there. If you've got two, you can put it here. If you've got a poof, you can put your hands on the poof or the sofa and do that. There's ways, so many ways to do it. Now breathe in, bend into that front leg, and then lift your upper body. So all this emphasis on the front leg. Previously with the straight leg it was stretching, and now it's bent, it's working. Breathe in, bring this arm across the front as we now come for the warrior two. I do love that transformation. Feet to the front, push back, hands together at the front, try and touch the screen, up to the ceiling, and now let's go to the right, and let's go to the left. Arms out, bring it down, so your feet 10 to 2, bring it down, tilting those hips back, and then over to one side. Back to the middle, and then glide here. So now we turn and put the knee down, relax the toes and lean into it. So you feel this stretch here, arms up above your head. Now put your hands down and arm in the air. So it's your right arm. Feel that lovely spine twist. Breathe in and put it down. Connect those back toes. Ooh, this is still quite challenging for me on here, but getting better and better. Really feel the stretch in here. So I'm going to bend into this knee, take the leg a little bit further back as I lift my upper body. So the work is now on the front leg, but the stretch is on the back calf. Breathe in, warrior two to the front. And let's bring this leg in. Shake it off and get a drink. Well done. So, we're now developing our balance and our strength. So we're going to start with a warrior one. So I'm going to say yoga one, a warrior one. So take one leg to the back. Set up with the heels in line and the toes out. So if this is your left leg, you're at 10 o'clock. That's at 10, that's at 12. Bring it round to the front. See, I adjusted there because my warrior two is wider than my warrior one. So please feel free to adjust, bring it in, take it out, whenever you want, to make sure that you're comfortable and your technique is correct. So bring it back around here. So this calf stretch warrior one is ever so lovely. Keeping the shoulders square to the front. That's what your toes look like on your front foot. Arms in the air. And where's the balance, you're saying? Now, let's put the emphasis on that front leg. So I'm starting to come forward slightly. If you need to, take the foot further out. You don't want any pressure on the knee. Lift it up. Just keep the toes on the floor. Now, can you feel here working? Can you do the arms next to the ears? Now, let's take the weight off the foot and lift it up. So this supporting knee extremely bent. And bring it up. Let's swap sides. So we start with our normal calf stretch. Bending into the knee, shoulders square, arms into the air. Slowly, keeping the toes on the floor, but we're putting the emphasis on this front leg. And now, more emphasis, lift the toes. This front foot, remember that's what your toes look like. 3, 2, 1. I think I need a drink. So obviously from there, you've just been working a lot harder. Now what you're going to do is lift the leg up so we get into a warrior 3. I'm going to stay this way because it's a bit bright, my light of joy. So start with the calf stretch warrior 1, arms next to the ears, leaning into it, putting the weight on here, lifting the toes now. More and more weight, more and more emphasis. Lift the toes off the floor. We now start to tilt forward. Think about a straight line from the fingers to the toes. Once you have that, let's start to straighten this leg. And in. I have no idea what that looked like, but we'll see afterwards. And breathe. So you see, we can't help ourselves. We're always holding our breath and we're trying to stay steady. And I need to practice what I preach. If you breathe through it, you'll be a lot more steady and be able to hold the pose a lot longer. So let's swap sides. Bend into that knee. Arms up. Lift the heel. Keep this knee bent. Let's bring it forward and tilt. Get the legs straight and in alignment with the fingers, hopefully, and then straighten your leg. So I just adjusted my hips there so I wasn't turned down. And bring it in. Shake it off. We're doing very well this morning. So much more to do. Give it a bit of a shake. Now the continuation on from that is into a penché. It's actually easier to perform a penché. So then when you're doing that, I want you to tilt. Watch. So I've got my warrior one, calf stretch warrior one, heel up, start bending into the knee, lifting my back leg, straighten it for my warrior three, adjust the hips, arms to the back now, penché, and tilt, and bring it in. I'd like to think that my toes are pointing to the ceiling and my head pointing to the floor. I'd like to think that, but I shall look back later. So, other side. Calf stretch warrior one. Don't miss the little bits that will really help. The calf stretch, and then your warrior three. The more you bend your front knee, the better your balance. And then when you're in position, ooh, she says, you can start to straighten. Arms to the back. You see, this is not my good side. And together. The feeling was a little bit hunched there, trying to get lower and lower. Shake it off and grab a drink. So we've done the warrior three, and we've done into a penché. So now we're going to give it a go with a half moon. See how it works out. So the best way to start a half moon is a warrior two. Always is. So this foot, point it that way. And your heel is in alignment with your arch. So let's get this one, chest to the front, bend into the knee, arms out, and let's have a 6 o'clock arms. So, if you're not quite touching the floor with your bottom under, what I'd like you to do is just to put your hand on your dresser, put your hand on your poof, your sofa, either the cushion or the arm. And then when you're there, we're still focusing on keeping this bottom under. And bring it up. Let's swap sides. Obviously, you've got to limber up, haven't you? So, warrior two, arms out, and take it down. Now, for me, this side is not as easy. And bring it up. Okay, changing sides again. Tell you what else I have. I've got my son's roller. If you've got a handy one, you know, lying around, there's a good one. Instead of a yoga block, it's slightly bigger. You could also use an encyclopedia. You know, I'm not using those though. They're a bit precious, they're my dad's. Now, let's go back into your warrior two. Let's take it down for 6 o'clock arms. And then bend some more into this knee. You know, your body knows what you're going to do, and it'll tell you whether to move that or not. So I'm looking down, but then I open up and I turn my hip to you. Now, the more you bent you keep your knee, the easier it will be to perform. So give that a go on both sides. Nice and wide. So naturally, we go to our strongest side first. So let's see how it's going to work out on here. Relax your shoulders, bend the knee for your warrior two, and then bring it for your 6 o'clock arms. So I'm thinking about lifting this leg. So bending some more, I just shimmy my hand over here. And then once my leg is up, I'm turning, opening out my hips. You feel the work in your glutes. And then uncurl. Bring it down. Give it. Now, our last move, to really stretch out the hamstrings into the glutes. Arms out and lead with your chest all the way down. Both of your hands on your right leg. And then let's change sides. So I'm back to mirroring you again, but I don't know how I'm mirroring. Back to the centre, hands on the floor. Turn your heels in and drop your bottom. Hands in prayer, so your elbows on the inside of your thighs. Take a deep breath in. As you rise, push the floor away, push your knees out. And breathe out. Bring the legs together. Take a deep breath in. Breathe in. Breathe out. Namaste. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope you've had a good stretch and I will see you again tomorrow.